Okay. Yeah. So as Mumbai has already said, it's the Christmas round the corner. For us, it is 24th December early morning. And as all of you know that Christmas, it's said at Christmas Eve. So it's the evening, today evening, and then tomorrow morning, the day begins. And as you can see that we are in that part of the year where it's very cold, the winters in the northern hemisphere of the world, particularly. And also a few days ago, that's 21st December, we experienced what is called the winter solstice, which is the day when the day is the shortest and the night is the longest, very cold, very long, a lot of darkness around. So, what is this darkness? It's basically the darkness of ignorance. And at this point of time, they say the religious father, Christianity, the faith of Christianity, Jesus Christ was born. And so, if you look at it from that point of view, spiritually, you look at that part of the year I told you, but now look at it on a, as BKs, we know that we are undergoing a major shift, and this darkness of ignorance is to go, and the new knowledge which is being given to us through Shiv Baba is being delivered for the new golden age which is to come. And also, again, it's that part of the year where a new year is beginning. So there are so many, I must say, confluences here happening. So it's the confluence first, whereby the dark nights start becoming more and more bigger, and the day starts getting larger from this day onwards. Second, it's a new year being celebrated, a new year. And so for us, Baba says every day is a new year for you, right? Because today also, if you look at the Avyak Murli, which I was just reading through as I was waiting here, Baba speaking in the Avyaktwani today of trying to get rid of all your old sanskars and develop the new you by getting the original sanskars into play. That's what today's Murli is all. And Baba is saying, be ever ready in that, in trying to use, be ever ready in using your original sanskars. That's what today's Avyak Murli is about. The second thing is about, as I said, the first is the winter solstice, ignorance, darkness going into light and knowledge. And second is that part of the year where we are moving into the new year. And if we look at the Christmas tree, I'll come to the tree in detail because the tree has a lot of meaning. If you all can start typing in the chat box as well, I'll put my chat open so that I can see what answers are coming. So my question here is to you all, we are less people today, but anyway, it's around 14, including me. So whoever wants to type it, that what does a tree, you want to write about Christmas tree, that's fine, but in general, a tree, what does it signify? Because it is, I must say, it's a source of sustenance. A tree gives in light, a tree gives a lot of things to everyone in life, not life. I've started seeing, I'll read those answers later, but in the meantime, you start writing your answers. I'll come to the Christmas tree a bit later, maybe in the next 10 minutes or so. So let's look at this religious founder of the religion Christianity, Jesus Christ. So a lot of similarities between him and Krishna. I'm sure you have heard of it. His, first of all, to start with the name, Christ, Christu, and Krishna. And Krishna, when we say in Hindi, it means akarshan karne wala, a one who is sort of gives a magnetic pull to you. So, you know, in the Hindu, now we call it, because of Baba, we say that it is the Adi Sanatan deity religion. But in the good old days, from the medieval times, from the Copper Age, it's been said as the Hindu religion. So the Hindus have a lot of devotion for Sri Krishna, and they really regard Sri Krishna as very high. Same as Christu. His name was Christu, Christ. It's from that he was born in Jerusalem, as you know. The circumstances in which he was born is same as that as Christ was born, as Krishna was born. So he was born to a household of a shepherd. You know, Joseph and Mary are the parents, born through ultimate purity. Again, you can imagine it happened in Copper Age through purity. That's the reason it's called Virgin Mary. And Krishna, obviously, it is shown that when he was born, there was a lot of upheaval around, and he was born to Vasudev and Devaki. Again, it's a pure soul. And shepherd, what does that shepherd? And here also in India, we say that he was a Gwala. Gwala means, though he was not a Gwala, we know that he's the prince of the golden age. He's the first prince. But the stories tell you that he was the one who was rearing the cows and the goats and all those. So he was also a shepherd. So again, when we speak of this profession of shepherd, rearing the cows, it is something related to sustenance, palna, what we say. And so these are a few differences. He was also born in the manger, as Christ was born, same as Krishna. They say that he came on the leaf of a peepal tree and floating in the river or something. But we know that as a golden aged soul, it is not like that. It is basically at the age that he was born, Sri Krishna. Then they say that their Janam or the Rashi of Christ and Christu is very, very similar. In the sense, it has been seen that Jesus Christ, when Baba speaks about Jesus Christ, he speaks about it in a very different way. In the Sakar Murlis, only when I came into Brahma Kumaris, I knew about this. Otherwise, I would not have known. Baba says that Jesus and Christ, both these are two different souls. I'm sure you know what I'm saying here now. And Jesus was the one who was crucified. Christ can never be crucified because Christ is a pure soul. So it's around the age of 30 years of Jesus when Jesus was crucified for whatever reasons. I don't want to go there, that all the Roman emperors at that point of time, they were very anti-Jesus. So they said that we want him to either leave the country, because he used to attract people through his sermons, so on and so forth. And they said that he now has to suffer because he has done no good for the Roman emperor, because the Roman emperor was in because of that. So they said that you have to suffer now and we will crucifix you on the cross. I'm sure you know that story. So Baba says, according to Baba, the religious founder Christ can never suffer because it's a pure soul who's coming from right from Paramdham, from the soul world. He's just descending that time. So what sort of vice would he be in, or what sort of vikaram would he have done, or sin he would have done to suffer that much? So according to Baba, when Jesus becomes around 30 years of age, and when he was being crucified, so with all the nails and all that which he was stuck onto and on the cross, so it's basically Jesus left the body, because you can imagine if you are just having a prick of a nail or a thorn, and if you don't take tetanus injection, you will obviously have that infection, and tetanus is a very deadly infection. And here he was, you can imagine so much of suffering, so much of blood loss, so on and so forth. So Jesus left the body, and then Baba says Christ, the pure soul, entered that body, and that was when he was taken off from the cross, and then Mother Mary came, and then from there onwards, his name was said as Christ, and the Christianity was established. So the similarities which I'm trying to tell you between the Indian Gita and the Bible is because they say that from the age of then 30, 35, 30, 31 years, whatever his age was, he became Christ. He fled from the Roman Empire. He left at Jerusalem, and then he was in search of God, and he was in search of the higher existence, of higher meaning of life. And then they say that he began towards the east. He was somewhere in the Middle East and Jerusalem, that area. And then he moved towards the east. He entered the land of Bharat. Again, even at the start of the Copper Age also, you all know, it was the big Bharat. which was including all the areas, the Middle East areas, and even extending down to Southeast Asia, India per se, all the extended. I don't want to name the countries because I don't want to create a controversy, because I know this is being recorded. If sometime or the other, if I say something about other countries being a part of India, it may not be liked. So you all can understand my perspective that Bharat is a big country. We know it's a big continent that way. So then he moved to India, and then he got inspired by the Gita. And we now know the Gita is sermonized by Shiv Baba, not by Krishna. But though he entered was Copper Age, 2000 years from now, around 2000 years, 2023 to be more specific. And that time, the which was sermonized in India was the Gita mentioned by Vyas. And we know that it is said Krishna Bhagwan has written. So he was really inspired a lot by those teachings. And then he started churning on his own, and he started writing a few teachings, which then came up in the form of Bible. And though we are speaking about Christmas, it's important also to know that he traveled in the entire continent from north to south. And therefore, you can see that in South India, there are many Christian missionaries, because he influenced the south of India as well to a great extent. And in the North India, in Kashmir, it is said that they have his tomb over there. They said that Christ left the body there. Well, we don't know much about that, but in history, we know about that. So in short, trying to say that there is so much of similarities between Christu, that is, and Krishna. Coming to the things which they do on Christmas, what is the spiritual significance of that? As I said, I'll take the Christmas tree in the end. They show that from the chimney of the house, they say that Santa Claus comes. And all of you know that who is this Santa Claus? If you can start writing down again in the chat box. It is shown to be an old man. He's shown to be a heavy-bodied old man, white beard, white mustache. He's shown with wearing a cap, which is red. His entire dress, the Santa Claus dress, is full of red and white color. So red signifies, they say, Paramdham, the color of the soul world. It relates to the soul, and white relates to peace, purity, something like that. And he enters. Now you can imagine it is all very symbolic. How can I can just see someone? Yeah. How can that old man come through the chimney? Is it possible? Just not possible. So it is a black chimney. It is when he enters through that into the house, he should also become black, because if he's not able to manipulate to that small diameter of the chimney. So again, it's very symbolic. So it means that, again, the dark age that he's entering, he's descending from somewhere from the top and entering the house here, which means it is, again, that he's descending Avtaran, which is an incarnation happening at the dark age, at the confluence age, when it is just supposed to move from the golden age into the from the iron age into golden age, and that's the confluence age. Brahma. He's the old man Brahma, and Brahma is Brahma's vehicle, or Brahma's body is used by the divine, the supreme being, the light. And therefore you can see there's a lot of significance of light in Christianity as well. If you go to the churches, they all believe in lighting up the candle. And what is lighting up of the, if you remember, there's a big candle they show, and then there are those tiny candles, and people try to light up their candle from the flame of the big one, and then keep it there. So the big one is the supreme being. And really, when we say big, again, it is not physical size big, no. Baba says, I am also the same Jyoti, the same flame, you're also the same. But the only difference between we, the soul, and the supreme soul is not about the size, but it is the quality of the soul. That is the supreme being who doesn't come in the cycle of birth and death, whilst we souls come in the cycle of birth and death. That soul is supreme, and supreme means it's the source of all the virtues and powers. It is the ocean of all the virtues and powers, whilst we become an embodiment of that. So it's not about the size, it's about the quality. And in Christianity, they show on the Christmas tree, at the top of it, they show a big star. So that sparkling star is the Supreme Soul. We call it Shiv Baba with lot of love. And I can see they're mentioning beautiful things, that he's the purest supreme being. Black chimney indicates that, yeah. So all of you know this. And I'm sure as you start churning on Murlis, what Baba says, you yourself come to know the spiritual significance of various things. You can correlate, churn it on more, and there you can understand that each and every festival in India, which we celebrate as well, it's a festival of the confluence age. It signifies the confluence age importance. All the festivals, we can take that sometime as the festivals come and go. Then they say that the children are said that there is someone coming. Who are these children? Symbolically, all of us are children of God. So it's the children, and a lot of gifts are got. Stockings are placed. So all these stockings again are symbolic of gifts which are not being revealed. They are present inside the stocking, but only when the child goes down, and the stocking is like something deep. The child has to put the hand inside and take the gift out. So these are hidden gifts, as is incognito. I must say that for BKs, now we know the most important gift for all of us souls is Baba himself. Do you agree? I'm sure you will. And Baba is the hidden gift for all of us. Baba says that you children, you don't like me. That's the reason you always keep asking, when will the golden age come, Baba? When will the golden age come? Because when golden age comes, I won't be there with you. So why don't you make the maximum of this golden age and realize that the importance of confluence age is only because, and it is that part of the in this time cycle, it is that part where it is very significant, the ticking going towards the 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying, the click of the tick of the clock. It's that part. That confluence age is significant because Baba is there. When Baba descends, when he incarnates body of Brahma. So the importance of confluence age is only because Baba is here. So I think the most important gift for all of us is Baba himself. And he's so hidden in this body of Brahma. He comes and sits here in the forehead of Brahma. So he's so hidden. Therefore, the stocking is significant of that. It symbolizes that it's something hidden gift. And actually, all of us will agree that we were not looking for Baba. Baba's us actually. Because each one of us coming into knowledge is a different, unique story for each one of us. And then they show that there are many sweets, same as Diwali, like Mukh Meetha Karna. Sweets signifies something. When you think of Christmas sweets, whatever you'll think of, it is something sweet. It is to really have a Vani, the sweet voice which you speak to which each other. That's the significance of that. So looking at a Christmas tree, there are a lot of decorations which are made on the Christmas tree and also the entire house. So you can compare that with Diwali, wherein the Hindu religion, they try to sort of clean the entire house. So this is cleaning your mind and everything new, new clothes, new utensils in Diwali or new gifts in whatever. So everything is new, new is suggestive of new sanskars. As today's Murli, when you read the Sunday Avyat Murli, is about inculcating newness and related to the new year, which is just about to come in the next. And see, it's the difference of 1 week, 7 days, 25th December, and next 7 days, the new year is coming. So what I would suddenly struck me that when the first day we come into Brahma Kumaris, they say that you have to go through the 7-day foundation course. And that is the dark age. We are coming gradually into the light age. And as I said, the days also start becoming more and more bigger from 21st, 22nd December onwards. And within 7 days, those of foundation course, when we do, the new year begins for us, which means we realize ourselves to be this new, the newness comes in us. And what is the new thinking? I am a soul. I need to connect to the Supreme Soul. And it reminds me of a few other hidden gifts which we didn't know. As we know in Brahma Kumaris, Baba says Gyan, Gun, and Shaktiya. So the knowledge given by God is totally new. It's a hidden gift. We know we are souls, but how much realization we had. Baba came, Baba says, I gave you this divine intellect, Divya Buddhi and Divya Drishti, which is the divine vision. These two divine gifts Baba has given, and through that, our third eye is opened. We now realize ourselves to be the souls. That's the first hidden gift. And second, as I said, Gyan, Gun, and Shakti. So it's all the virtues. Baba told us that you are the all virtues soul. You have all the virtues in you. You have to use it, my dear child. And powers, we know all the 8 powers, Shakti. So these are the hidden gifts. And now let us come to the Christmas tree. Let me just quickly see what you all have written in that. I could gather many things coming up. Yeah, you all have written Kalpa tree. That's fine. Everyone's churning is perfect. There's no doubt about that. Growth nurturing, yes. Symbol of tolerance. Tree is an embodiment of bestower. Yes, you are. When we say Dani, Mahadani, and Vardani, so bestower is the one who bestows. It's like giving a lot and always giving without expecting anything in return. Yes. Source of eternal life and blessings. Perfect. And then it all goes to Baba and Bapdada. I think that was the second question about Santa Claus and so on. Yeah, so let me come to, again, in the end, symbol of eternal life. Yes. So let me come to this Christmas tree. As I was churning a bit on this, I realized that a tree gives so much of sustenance. And that's the word I'm using again and again. You would have seen since I've started speaking for the spiritual significance, that all of us do agree that when we go to the centers or when we go to Madhuban, what is this thing which pulls us towards the Madhuban? It is Baba's sustenance. So if you look at the tree, it's obviously the tree. Baba says it's a genealogical tree, that in the tree, everyone is represented, all the religions are represented. But let's start at the tree from the base, the roots. So now if you look at that, who is there in the roots? We PKs are there, right? So all of us will say we are doing tapasya. But if you look at it, that what are my roots? The roots are basically my family values. It's my heritage which I carry. So now when I'm speaking about family, I'm not speaking about any Lokik family. I'm speaking here about the Alokik family that we are. So the moral values, the family virtues, the heritage which we have forms a part of our roots. And it is because of that my existence is there. So the roots are always hidden, the family tradition, the family heritage, all that is hidden. What can be seen further is the trunk. We'll come to that later. But all this is hidden. So my morality, my values, my ethics, my principles in life, all that is very hidden. And that comes from my family. So now I'm an Alokik family, and let me begin in that root. By sitting in tapasya, I realize that morality of mine, the true self that I am, the soul that I am, the pure being, full of values, virtues, and powers, full of knowledge. That is what is the roots. And only when I sit in tapasya or meditation can I churn on those. If I'm routinely just doing my job, 9 to 5 job, or a work at home or whatever, I really don't get the time to look into those. So it's only by sitting in tapasya. Then after that, Baba says that the roots come from seeds. Remember, what are the seeds? So on this Christmas spiritual significance, what are the seeds in life? Seeds are my pure thoughts, my elevated thoughts. Baba says, Shubh and Shuddh. Shubh is something good and pure, and Shuddh is also something pure. So let my thoughts be so pure and elevated. And from those seeds, the roots start emerging. So the basis of everything is the seed. The entire kalpa tree, or the tree which we are discussing, it comes from the seed. So, and seeds are my thoughts. It's only when my thoughts are pure can I realize my gifts which I have. Can I realize that yes, I am the pure soul, and I can do then meditation. So the basis of meditation, as we always say, is our thoughts. So we need to work at the seed level. And Baba also says, point form, seed form, Jwala Rupi Yog, all that. It's the seed stage which you have to work on. Sit in tapasya, not churning about knowledge, not having a heart to heart conversation. Only try to sort of situate yourself in that consciousness of the seed form. And that will lead to tapasya. That is true tapasya. Then from the seed and the roots, what comes up is, before that, we need to know that the seeds and all these roots are in the ground. In the ground means they are in the mother earth. The roots are spread. Again, they are spread beneath in the earth. We can't see them. So what does the ground signify? The ground is basically the places where I'm staying, where I'm living. So it would be my personal space at home, it would be my professional workplace or workspace where I am. So that's my ground. What we call the ground is the field. It's the field of the Karam Kshetra in Hindi. Beautiful word explained in Baba. They say Kurukshetra and Karam Kshetra. So Karam Kshetra is your Kshetra field of where you are working, where you are staying. And your roots are embedded through your family bonding, through your traditions, to your moral values and ethics. And the ground is the workplace where I am. And now from this ground, you can see from the seeds and the roots something coming up. And what is that coming up? First, a small bud comes up, and then that becomes a mighty trunk. And what is this trunk? The trunk is my professional abilities or professional skills. It's my personal strengths which I use. That's the reason it's called a personal strength. And therefore, it is shown in the uh, as I was saying, it's shown as a mighty trunk because the most important, strongest part of a tree is the trunk. So, trunk is my personal strength. It's my professional skills and abilities which I gain over a period of time. And they're all linked to the thoughts, the seeds, as I mentioned. Also, they are linked to my family legacy, my family tradition. So, for us, it's our alaukic legacy of Brahma Baba. As the tree goes further, and in the tree, if you see at the Kalpa tree, who is shown in the tree, who is the mighty, the most mighty religion is the Adi Sanatan deity religion. So that's the one which is so mighty, full of strengths and qualities. Then we move on as the trunk further ascends, it breaks down into 2 or 3 branches. And Baba says those 3 branches are the 3 religions which come up. So what are the branches signifying? Branches are my hopes, my aspirations, my dreams, my wishes. So from my personal strength and quality arise these, that what is my dream now? What is my wish? To create something positive, to become positive, to create a new world. So branches are those hopes and aspirations. And from each branch, as spring comes in from the cold winter, gradually when the temperatures start going up, you can see small twigs coming on the branches, and then from that, which otherwise has become so dry and shriveled, you see some buds coming up, and then they form the leaves. So what are the leaves? Leaves is plural. The singular is leaf. So leaves are, leaves are the ones which are the ones to shed off when autumn starts, right? And when spring starts, leaves are the first one to come on the tree. So leaves are those people in my life, the significant people in my life who have made a difference to my life. And it's a beautiful analogy, leave. You leave the world, which means those people are either with me physically, body-wise, or they have left the body and they are no more with me. the remembrance of them is with me. So I would say that the leaves here are all Adi, the advanced party souls. The first one being Brahma, Baba, and Mama. So they taught us so much. And you know that we are in big awe of Mama and Baba. And it's all the other dadis who have left their bodies now. So they are not with us anymore. But their memories, whatever their teachings, the way they conducted themselves, the way they led their Brahmin life, it's all with us. So we have all that. So that's the leaves. And after the leaves, then there are two things in the trees. First is the flower, and next is the fruit. So it's always a flower comes, and then the flower becomes the fruit. So what is the flower? Flower or blossom, the small blossoms which come before the bud stage, and then the flower fully blooms. So flowers are the gifts which I give to others, right? Those are the gifts which I give to the world. So as a BK, when someone comes and meets me, I am a BK practicing whatever Baba's knowledge, all my 4 subjects, Gyan, Yoga, Dharana, Seva. So has my life become so beautiful like a flower? Has my life got the essence of all the virtues? As Baba says, Divya Guno ki Dharana. And Baba says that you should be having the fragrance of virtues in your life. So has my life become so virtuous? My chehra, chal, chalan, my behavior, my face, my actions, are they speaking about my qualities, about my powers? And looking at those, that is the gift for people. And looking at that, people will be attracted to Baba. And then Baba says that y'all are the ones who are supposed to reveal me. It is only through y'all I'll be revealing myself. So we can be the flowers of that tree. And after the flower comes the fruit. Fruit is what? It is the gift which the first one was I, the gift flower, which I give to the world. And the fruits is the gift which I take from the world. And remember, when we say the fruit, if you look at the fruit of any tree, it has the seed inside, right? So I remember Brijman Bhai Sahib, he always says Safalta. My time is getting over now. Soon I'll complete in the next few minutes. So Safalta means success, right? In English, we say success. Hindi is Safalta. The word Safal is so beautiful. Fal is there in that. And Sa means something very pure, something very elevated and divine. So in that success, there is already the fruit which is there, and the fruit has the seed. So when I create, so the fruit always has a seed. And remember, when a fruit is attached to a tree, after a while, the fruit is detached from the tree. It comes down, it opens up, the seeds are laid, and then from that seed, a new tree begins. So this is the significance here of this fruit is that whenever I do Baba's Seva with the pure thought, the pure consciousness, the seed is there inside. This purity in my consciousness at a seed level itself is the fruit for me. And the first thought which I create, that I am an instrument of Baba and I am doing service, that first thought itself is fruit for me. And the fruit has to detach from the tree. So I have to be totally detached from, I am not doing it. Baba is getting it done through me. And only then that detached fruit will come down on the ground again. I have to be grounded. As we say in English, let's have the attitude of being down to earth, an attitude of being very humble, down to earth. Then will that fruit blast open and all the seeds will again come out and they will be sowed in the ground. So same thing, that when I do service, or rather this word is wrong, when service is done through me, Baba uses me for service, and I'm so humble, so detached, I don't, as in Gita says, Karam karo, phal ki ichha mat rakho. You do your action, but don't think of the consequence or the result or success of that. But in Baba's service, whenever I even do a thought, I create a thought of service, I'm successful right from that aspect. And when the fruit comes down, the seeds are laid again. I'm so grounded, I'm so humble, having that instrument consciousness, that seeing my life, like the service just expands so much from one seed again, from that one fruit. There are so many other seeds which come, and then the tree begins. There are more trees which come up again. So, in short, when I say that this is a complete cycle, it starts with a seed of pure thought and goes up to the fruit, which is the last part of the tree, and then the fruit also finally comes down. So I don't desire any fruit. I just do my job. I do my seva, and Baba does it all through me. And I'm absolutely, that thought should not come. Oh, I'm doing service. I hope this hope is not right. I hope everything goes well. No, this is doubt. And Baba, Sanshay Buddhi Vinashyanti. We don't need to have doubt. Oh, whether whatever I'm doing, is it right? Am I saying right things? No, if you're having a pure thought in your mind, whatever will come out of you will be great. Okay, so here is the significance of the tree, which I was trying to tell you, because I think no other religion values the tree so much. Though in Hinduism we have the kalpa tree, but the tree is really decorated to a great extent in Christianity, particularly at Christmas. And I'll just read a few from the chat box. Santa Claus embodies the spiritual joy we share with our fellow men and women. Excellent. Then notice three worlds are there in the trees. A beautiful thought that all those three worlds can be present. And one said, Sank. So Sam and Kalp. Yes, so in the word, it's Sankalp is a Hindi word for thought. So a beautiful way to express that Kalpa is the entire Kalp. And Sun again, Sam is something pure. So Sankalp. And sister, someone is saying about the Murli. So I don't know to what extent. Yeah, Murli is the flute which we say. So it's the music which you play, and the music, not a physical music, it is the music of life. When we come into knowledge, we really enjoy everything so much in Brahman life that our entire life becomes dance and play, dance, music. And this is the start at the confluence age. When we are going into the golden age, there, our entire day will be busy just playing music, dancing, because that's the way it is, the field of art. All the day, they don't have any work, by the way. They don't do these mundane jobs, IT job, doctors, etc., so on and so forth. There are no courts over there. There are no hospitals. There's no sin over there, no pollution. So they all merry-go-round all the time. They are so free, all the deities. And what they say, Baba says that the schools the children go to are not the schools of ABCD. It is all art. All the 16 celestial degrees, therefore, they are shown that all those arts are full in them. Art of dancing, art of singing, music, so on and so forth. Okay, so let me just stop here. And we have a bit of time. If you have a few reflections, we'll spend a minute in silence. If you want to share something quickly, or already shared in the chat box. And then if not, then we'll sit in meditation. I'll play some soft music after a few minutes. So after a minute of silence, we'll have 2-3 minutes of reflection if you all want to share something. So you have a few minutes to share. I would request you all to be very brief. You all have shared in the chat box. Anything else apart from that which you have written in the chat box, you're welcome to share.
Om Shanti, brother. Christmas is,
Yeah.
Christmas is, Om Shanti. Christmas is for me something very special, very beautiful, being brought up in a convent. And I really used to love the role of Christ, his divinity, the purity with which he was born, and to know such kind of purity existed, a civilization existed at that time, and how Christ was shown as a conqueror of virtues, of vices, and the true love, especially, the face of Jesus Christ, the grace with which it was shown. I'm talking to you how, as when I was in the convent, it really, his humility. And one thing which I liked is BC to AD, before Christ to Anna Domini, all those kind of things. And as you rightly said, the tree and the Christmas dashing through the snow, riding through a sleigh, and coming down to the chimney, everything what you said represents all the darkened times. And even as mentioned in the Bible, when it said, no man knows what time and hour God would come. And Gita also said, God descends when he comes. I really love the the symbolic similarity between Christmas and the Gyan. I love celebrating the birth of Christ, the beauty of thing to know it's something, the rejuvenation of the human soul, the supreme soul descending and taking all his children with him. For me, it's glorification of the Lord. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Maiji, it's a wonderful reflections of the entire, the spiritual significance of Christmas. I would like just add one reflection, one attribute, one another attribute of Jesus Christ, which has been shown is a mercy on the various, those people who crucified, the Christ and the Jesus, and then he said, they God forgive them because they do not know what they are doing. So similarly, Brahma Baba here also has, was an embodiment of mercy. So that reflection I want to share. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yes, so I think time is up. If you have a few more reflections, otherwise we'll go into the meditation mode. Thank you, both of you, for sharing beautiful things, and others as well in the chat box. So
I think we move to meditation, Bhaiji.
thanks. So forgiveness, right? So I'm already sharing my sound. I'll just on the. So it's audible, and I'm not cutting. Just let me know if I'm cutting off, so I can stop the music. So I hope it's okay and clean. Just let me know if I'm cutting off. So let's take breath in
Bhaiji, your voice is not clear.
and
Uh,
stop the music.
I think the music is
So
it's
it
becoming.
sometimes cuts off. Yeah, that's the reason I was asking. No worries. So I think now it should be fine. I've stopped the music.
Yes, yes, you're loud and clear.
So let's be in this consciousness of the soul, the beautiful energy that I am. Looking at myself, the combination of mind, body, and the three faculties that I am, the mind, intellect, and sanskars. Let me, on this Christmas, look at my journeys becoming a Brahmin. Visualize the day when I came into knowledge. And see the first day, how I was feeling, full of joy, enthusiasm, the newness, having recently discovered and realized that I am the soul. So relive that experience again. And now look at yourself today. It's been a long journey. So far, you've seen many things in life. You would have seen many upheavals in your Lokik life as well. And also you would have seen many souls coming and going into the BKs, becoming a Brahmin, being there with you and not being there as well. And also we see the Brahmins with all different sets of sanskars, different personality traits. So today, on this special eve of Christmas and the ensuing New Year, let me just detach from those past experiences which I had. Any traumatic experiences, if any, let me just detach from that. Looking at the new year, which is just around the corner, let me try to inculcate at least one newness in me, one new quality, one new power which I feel I'm lacking in myself, just one. Let me for a while try to reflect on what that one sanskar is, which I want to develop on, which I'm not able to develop so far in my Brahmin life. And keeping myself fully detached from the past, heading towards the new golden age. What is it in my sanskar which I need to inculcate? Just one thing. And see yourself being an embodiment of that sanskar from now itself, from the very auspicious day of Christmas, and telling myself that I am that new you, I am that new person, using that sanskar from today onwards. And that newness will make me a better person in the next year, and will make me really help a lot to reveal Baba. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. It's a wonderful reflections. You have given us practical significance, how we can use the concepts of Christmas tree into discovering the new us, new me. And by practicing this Christmas tree, which is nothing but the Sankalp tree, and we can discover the new elevated me. So thank you so much, and it was a great learning for each one of us, the Divine Family. I wish everyone, on behalf of the Divine Family, a lot of gratitude to you, and also Merry Christmas to everyone listening to this program, this session. Thank you so much. Let's all meet tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till such time, Happy Christmas and Happy Merry Christmas. Thank you. Om Shanti.